Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge and welcome to a book tag video. Now before you click off or run away, I haven't done a book tag in quite a bit. I think the historical romance reader book tag is the last one that I did. And I stumbled across this one just on my subscriptions. Don't mind my air conditioner, it should kick into lower gear eventually here. We actually have a cloudy day, which is nice, but also makes filming super fun. But anyway, I saw that Brandy Reads Romance I believe that's her channel name, she did this tag, and then I found the original tagger is from Slanted Spines, the original tagger, the original creator. And this was a fun, quick little tag about how moody of a reader you are, and I thought it would be fun. Spoiler alert, I'm probably pretty moody, but some of the questions were really unique, and I wanted to make it and then tag some of my fellow creators because I'm that girl. First off, check out my mug. Keep calm. It was in Gianna Darling's book box that she did for the anti-heroes. And I decided to make my chai tea in there. So without further ado, let's get into this tag. So question number 1, do you consider yourself a moody reader? And as I've already answered, I do. There are times when I can push myself through a book, but I tend to find that I don't enjoy it as much if I force myself to read a book. So if you are familiar with my channel, if you're familiar with my advice that I give to readers, I say that I keep a super open mind. I try not to be too locked in to TBRs or things like that so that I can be able to jump from book to book, because that's one of the things that helps me read the amount of books that I do, is that I don't pigeonhole myself to anything. But I'm still very moody. So question number 2 is, do you set TBRs and stick to them? Yes and no. The last few months I've made TBRs that are more as guidelines, because I have a part of my TBR that is my must-read books, and those are my buddy reads and my book clubs. I'm in a book club with my friend Crystal, that's the Rake Appreciation Society. That book, I always make sure that I read it. If I get invited to do any other book clubs, I make sure I read those books. And then I have a buddy read I usually do with my channel members or my viewers, and so I make sure I read that one. But the other books are really more like suggestions. You know, like I have arcs that will come up throughout the month that I will try to read as soon as I can. Those kind of situations. But for the most part, I have a TBR, but there are only certain books on that TBR that are like must get to. So I've been pretty good each month about reading the books that I have to, if you would say. And then the rest, since I can pick and choose, that's what I do. Number 3, do books affect you emotionally? And does the emotion rub off on you? Does the mood rub off on you? The first answer, yes, they definitely affect me emotionally. In fact, one of my criteria for giving a book 6 stars is actually that it makes me cry. I'm very easily emotional, so it's not like it's a super steep hill for a book to climb. But I also just love feeling feelings, so it's not a really shocking thing for a book to make me cry. Now, as for if the mood sticks with me or if it rubs off on me, it can sometimes. You know, so sometimes if I read too many dark romances in a row, I need to switch it up and read like a paranormal or a contemporary that's lighter. Sometimes that will happen. But usually I finish a book and I'm able to go on. Like, it is fiction. I feel like that is more to do with like if a book has a lot of triggers for me and maybe I didn't know about a trigger going into it, that will affect me and sometimes ruffle my feathers a little bit. That's why I'm a big proponent of knowing the trigger warnings if you want to. because that helps me prevent that. Like if I know this book is going to have a miscarriage in it, if I know it, then when it happens, I'm not so like shocked by it and it doesn't like hurt me emotionally. But books definitely affect me emotionally. When you're feeling sad, what do you read or not read? I reread a favorite. I don't get sad often. I have had some bouts of that lately, just with like job transition and worried about finding the right place and stuff like that. I have had some of that. And I have reread a lot of favorites in the month of August. I reread Serena Ackroyd. I reread some Pam Godwin. I reread Elisa Klépez, and that definitely did help me. I don't know that there's stuff that I wouldn't read. I just might not be in the mood for other stuff, which is kind of the point of being moody, right? Question number 5. Most often do you use reading to escape, to learn, or to critically reflect? Well, you can tell that this moody reader tag, it isn't specific to romance readers. So for me, I am completely reading for escape. I'm reading for enjoyment. It's not that I can't learn something about a book or that a book doesn't make me think critically or think deeply. I just put out a video about what dark romance makes me feel and how it affects me. And I feel like that goes hand in hand. Like some authors, the way that they write a dark romance, it makes me want to pick it apart and discuss it and see where it's going and everything like that. And I think that's fascinating. But I'm always going into the book looking to read for enjoyment. And I feel like if I learn something or I'm dissecting it critically, that's more of like an overflow, if that makes sense. Number 6, what is a book that made you laugh out loud? Oh boy. I mean, that will happen to me. The one that I bring up a lot is The Takeover. There are some hilarious scenes in this. And I would even say that the next book in the series as well, The Casanova, which comes out the 24th, I think it comes out. That book made me laugh out loud as well. So I think that's fair to say. I think that one made me laugh out loud just because the scenes in it are hilarious, obviously, but that the author is able to balance the humor with some more serious things and with the sexiness. So then when there's a funny part, you're like, oh my God, which is really cool. Number 7, what is a book that made you cry? Or if you didn't cry, it really moved you? Well, as I said, so many books make me cry. And they make me cry for completely different reasons. But I think one that it was so powerful this year was Still by Kennedy Ryan. It's one that just still sits in my head. This one has a few of my trigger warnings. It has loss of a child in it. But the way that it brings this couple closer together, the way that they go through the pain and the loss together and come out the other side, it was so powerful. Like I knew going in that that book was going to wreck me. And then it did. But I just loved it so much. And Kennedy Ryan does that with a lot of her books. She does that. But this one, it just affected me so much. It was so beautiful. I enjoyed it so much. At number 8, what is a book that you didn't even know what to feel? That it just made you feel so many things. I didn't really look at these ahead of time, so I think I would say The Spy by Sophie Lark. That book I had so much expectation, but I was also so fearful of where it was going to go. And it was really the culmination of 2 different series that the author wrote, and she had things planned so well and so carefully. And I like wanted to speed through it. I also wanted to take my time. I also wanted to drop everything that I was doing, but I also kept stopping it so that I could breathe and take it in. And I cried and I laughed and I swooned and I cheered, and there was just so many emotions with that book. So I feel like that is a good one to say. At number 9, are you most likely to read on a sunny day or on a cloudy day? That's a cute question, but the answer is every day for me. I'm not more like than one day or the other. Just because it's nice out won't necessarily mean that I want to go outside because I want to be reading whatever I'm doing. Question number 10. Do you usually get the mood when you read? Like, oh, do you usually set the mood? Sorry. Do you usually set the mood when you read? Music, lights, candles. I do like to light my candles. I always have some all over my house. I like different scents. I sometimes will listen to soundtrack, like ambient noise on YouTube. Like I will play rain or snowstorms or beach sounds. Can just really help me like zone into reading, because I do like noise even though I want to read. So ambient noise has become a good friend. I never understood people needing it before, but since I like live alone, I don't like that silent sound where you can hear like the clock and the, you know, people walking overhead and everything. I like there to be some ambient sound. And then number 11, can you leap from book to book or do you need a break? So I've kind of shared this before. I don't take breaks in between books, so I don't. And I do go from book to book. I usually have multiple books. I usually have 3 books. I usually have a physical book, a Kindle book, and an audio book all at the same time. But I will switch subgenres of romance if I need to. I will go from, as I've said, if I read too many dark romance in a row, I'll read a rom-com or a sports romance or a paranormal to kind of change it up. So I do hop from book to book, but I will change it up if I need to. And then the last thing is tag some people. So I have 5 people I'm going to tag. I'm going to tag Jesson from Jesson Reads Romance, Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life, Heather from Hia Booktubes, Tamika from Library of Tomes, and Laura from Laura's Library Card. I will take them down below. I also, as I said, I will have the original creator as well as the video that I saw that got me into this. I hope you enjoyed this. I know tags aren't something people totally do anymore, but I thought this one was kind of cute, and I'm really interested to hear what some of my friends say about it. Yeah, I enjoyed this so much. So thank you so much for watching. I put up new videos 3 to 4 times a week, and you can watch some more of them right now. Bye.